Aleckson. I am the Soul Speaker, giving a voice to the power within. Welcome once again to the weekly channeled higher guidance message and the Money Flow Oracle card reading. This week, it's a great message. It's coming from a great energy being who is talking about destruction and creation, and destructing to create. And there's a nice little reference in there to Lego houses. So let's go and watch. Greetings, dear friends. We come to you today as a collective energetic representation of deities and beings of many different religions, many different traditions, and we wish to say to you that we are not identifying as any one particular energy being, because we want you to understand that at this time we are represented as energy on this earth for a very specific and particular reason. We are known more often than not as a destructive force, and we wish to speak to you about this and the energy that you're currently in that would have you be destructive of everything that you've created to this point in order for you to recreate, or to in fact simply create exactly what you are now moving towards and what you are desiring. The energy that is being present on this earth at this time is of a destructive nature, and we don't want you to go into panic about that, because we want you to understand, and we'll use an analogy in order to help you to understand that, and it is this. We are like, so to speak, a small child who has built a Lego house, so to speak, and in the next moment or the next day or the next week has decided that they wish their Lego house to be different. And so in order to create that new house, in order to create that new way of being, in order to create the new vision that they've seen, that child has to destroy what is present in front of him. In other words, he has to take it apart. He has to, more often than not, these little ones, they will pull and push and kick and move until the thing falls apart before them, so that they can then take each and every little part that was present and build it into a new vision. This is what you are doing now, are you not? Many of you, not just in the world, although it is happening in the world, but we wish to speak to you of it happening within your own beingness, within your own house, so to speak. It's time now for the destructive winds of change to come through, to sweep through you, to put fire to destroy all that has held you back up to this point, to razz or burn to the ground, so to speak, the old belief systems, the old ways of being, the old understandings, the old actions, the old human, so to speak, to destroy that completely so that the new vision may arise. And in so doing, as the earth also follows its path of destruction and being brought to nothing so that it may be rebuilt, you're doing this at the same time as a human being within your own self and as a planet within the Earth's self, you see. You're all playing this game together. And the only thing you need to focus on at this time is allowing yourself to be made free, to be destroyed, so to speak, to be broken down so that you can be built again in your new vision. And right now we are here present on this planet to assist you to do this. Some know us as a destructive force, and we say to you, yes, we are right now in this time, in this moment, particularly between these two eclipses that you're in at the moment. But we want you to also understand that we are the greatest creative force possible. And after the destruction comes the creation. After the letting go comes the becoming. After the death comes the rebirth, so to speak. And we tell you, just to assuage your fears that may come up when we speak of death, we wish for you to understand this more than anything else. There is no death. There is no great disaster that will strike this planet. There are many little disasters, and even within you there are many little disasters that cause the breakdown of the old patterns, the breakdown of the old ways of being, so that your new vision for the earth and for humanity and for your own self can be created from the empty space that is left behind after the destruction. Allow yourself to move through this time. Allow yourself to release, to let go, to have these areas within you that need destroying and burning to the ground. Allow to see them. Allow yourself to see them. Allow yourself to watch them as they burn. Allow yourself to take a breath of fresh air and see the emptiness before the creation, the darkness before the dawn, and all of these ways of expressing it. We think we've done a good job expressing to you the purpose of our existence on this planet right now in this time between eclipses. The destruction, the emptiness, which allows the new creation to be brought forth. And so we say to you at this time, if you are experiencing memories of past traumas, if you are experiencing flashes of negativity or flashes of old ways of being, simply allow them to come up, allow them to present to you, so that you may say one last hurrah as they are burned to the ground, and leave a beautiful clean spot from which to rebuild your new positive aspects, your new ways of being, your new creation of heaven on earth, first within your beingness and your body, and then out in the world around you. We are Kali, and we are finished for now. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for the work that you are doing. Thank you for allowing us to be of service to you at this time, within your own self and in the entire planet. We wish you well. We long for the creation, and we see it coming. as I sit here in this moment, having had that message come through in a different way than is often my way of doing things, I would like to simply address a concern that somebody had for me in watching my videos, and expressed concern that if I don't know who's coming through, then how can I know that it's of a positive nature or that it's for our highest good. And I just simply want to express that, address that I should say, and I want to say, first of all, thank you for your concern. And next I want to say to you that my guides are always present with me no matter what other energies are coming through. My guides I trust implicitly. They are my gatekeepers. They wouldn't allow anything destructive, anything negative. I just use that word destructive. Obviously that's left over from the message. But what I simply mean is that they come from love, and nothing that doesn't match that would come through them to me. I also want to say that it is all energy. Now often I don't name it. I always know who it is. I always know what it's representing. I don't often name it because I don't have a need to, and they don't either. That's a human need that we have, to name everything that's happening and to give it a label. And while I know there are many in my world who would argue with me and insist that I have to name things, I still don't feel the need to, and I'm not going to. That's my choice. But I do wish to say that whether I name it or not, please understand that I always know exactly who I'm speaking with, who I'm speaking for. I always know exactly who it is. I've always prepared. I've always had the connection previously before allowing them to come through to speak to anyone else. I know who's coming through. I also know that it is simply other aspects of me that represent through history, through other energies and names and all of those sorts of things. Essentially what I'm saying is thank you for your concern. Please understand that I know who is speaking through me. I wouldn't just open myself up to anybody, and I vibrate at a very high level, and I do understand, and you know, I do a lot of work on minding my own vibration, which I teach others to do. It's very, what I want to say is that I work on raising my vibrational frequency to the highest levels at all times. I do drop down, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm perfect. What I'm saying is, certainly before I do this work, before I bring through anything, before I work with any clients or share any knowledge, I bring myself to my highest vibration so that I can be only working with those who are also in highest vibration. So again, thank you so much for your concern. I do appreciate it. And I just wanted to assure you that all is very well. So welcome back. It's time for the Money Flow Oracle card reading. And often when I'm doing this reading, I say to you that if it's not about money for you, it will be about whatever situation you're currently in. Whatever's going on for you, it will just be answering the question that you have, whether it's to do with money or not. However, today I want to say that this reading is absolutely about money. As I sat down to do it, I had this need to say to you, this is about money this time. It's about money for the next week or two, and it's very specifically about money. And so the cards that have come out to be spoken to today, and that are about money more than anything else, are these two. The Mission card and the Enough card. In fact, they came out in the other way. Enough and then Mission. And that's important. They always come out in the order that I need to speak them. To make a sentence, to make a reading out of these two cards. So Enough and Mission. And again, just remember, this is about money right now. This message is specifically about your money flow. These are the Money Flow Oracle cards that I brought through last September, funnily enough. And what I'm coming to understand is they're changing a little bit. I am going to be making some changes to them, and I will then be putting them out there into the world so you can buy them yourself and do your own money flow oracle card readings, very specifically around money flow. Now, let's talk to this. We've got the enough card and the mission card. And as I sit here holding these two cards and calling the money muse to come and speak to tell us what this is all about, what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing is that you have enough. You have enough. We're talking specifically about money. And so if you think you don't have enough money, we want you to really understand that you have enough of whatever you need, money or not. You have enough to start fulfilling your mission here at this time. You have within you and available to you at all times enough for you to start doing the work that you're here to do at this time. So this really is an urge for you, a push for you, a call for you to just start doing it. Start doing the thing that makes your heart sing. Start giving the gift that you know that you're here to be to others. The money will be there. You will be supported. Now, I just, as the practical Virgo that I am, I need to end this message by saying this. Please don't go and put yourself into a terrible financial position in order to start serving your purpose. This is not what we're urging you to do. What we're urging you to do is understand that it's time to simply start doing this thing. We're not saying you have to do it as your job and that you have to quit whatever job you're doing and that you must give your all 100% of your hours, time, all of those things to this mission. What we're simply saying is lock into your mission and start being it everywhere that you go. Start doing it, start gifting it. In other words, if your mission is love, then that would indicate that you are love. Start being love everywhere that you go. Don't hold it back because of various situations or because you're not supposed to be that way wherever it is that you are. You are supposed to be that way. That is your mission. And we want to say to you that everything that you need to fulfill your mission is within you. And when you recognize that and realize that, then the money will flow for you to fulfill the mission in the great way that you wish to. So get to it, hey? I tell you, when you're in it, when you're doing it, you find your joy, you really do. And when you find your joy, your money flow follows that joy as well. So that's it for the weekly Higher Guidance channeled message. That was a very interesting message from a beautiful, beautiful energy being who identified as Kali, but I want to be very clear that it wasn't just Kali. It was many energy beings. It's always many energy beings. We label them to match our religions, but Kali in that religion, in that culture, is not the same energy is in another culture by a different name. In fact, in many, many different cultures and religions by different names. And this is why we feel that it's easier not to state a specific name, because there's so much stuff around that particular label. Now, she did at the end identify as Kali. That is certainly because we've been hearing that name and having that name presented. I have had that presented to me so many times over the last few weeks, and it was for me to then learn about the destruction that she brings with her in order to then have the creation be created. And so many people identify with her as that energy, but please believe me that it's a much bigger energy than just one deity, one entity, one being, one religious figure. It is in fact all of those all of those together without the labels. I don't know why I wanted to tell you that, but I did. Thank you so much for watching the weekly message once again. I really do appreciate your presence. I appreciate your presence in my life. I appreciate that you sit here and listen to me as I waffle on sometimes for way too many minutes than I should. And I appreciate your support of me more than anything else. Your support. It gets me through. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next week. Bye.